What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JY Throws. I'm going to continue on with practice and work on the same things that I've been doing the last couple days. But while that's going on, I've got some tips for you guys to help get you mentally prepared for your next big track meet. The first step that you can take to being mentally prepared for a track meet is making sure that you're getting consistent training. For myself, the most helpful thing is knowing when my technique is on point, and the only way I ever get there is from making sure that I'm throwing consistently. And when I'm comfortable in the ring, I can go into a meet, I'm not worried about fouling. And provided I've been lifting and doing everything that I can in the weight room as well, then I know leading up to the meet, I've done everything to have maximum strength and technique. So starting off by mentally preparing yourself with the training outside of a competition is one of the best things that you can do to be mentally prepared for that meet. The next thing that I want to talk about is the nerves that you get leading up to the meet. For a while, I struggled with the feeling of the nerves that you get from the meet. And it wasn't until I started to break down what it was and how I was feeling that I realized what was going on in my body. And I learned to harness those nerves for what they were, and that's adrenaline. In intense times of fear and anger, the human body releases epinephrine, or adrenaline, into your bloodstream. And it's that fight or flight mode that your mind goes into that makes you feel nervous and scared, and the fear of not doing well in a meet gives you adrenaline. If you can understand that increased heart rate and increased breathing and the buzzing in your body isn't something bad, it's your body's survival mechanism kicking in. So if you can learn that it's not nervousness, it's excitement. And in those times that you feel that way, your body's capable of pushing itself even further than what your mind thought it was capable of. When you're there, if you can harness that and enjoy it, focus on your technique, then those nerves are actually a strength and speed boost that you can utilize. So because throwing is so technical, it really helps to create a mental routine for yourself to relax and get in the mindset of throwing. For myself, before each throw, I typically stand on the toe board or at the front of the circle, close my eyes, picture the throw, and in competition, when the nerves are high and my body's buzzing and I'm full of adrenaline, then sometimes it's hard to focus. So what I like to do, I like to stand at the front of the ring, take 2 deep breaths, imagine my throw, and that calms me down enough that I can go in the ring, get a good wind up, hit the entry of my technique, and from there the adrenaline just takes over, and it can be an 80% throw, and I'll see distances that I never see in practice because my body's just firing that much more from the adrenaline. So creating a routine for yourself that can mentally put you into your throwing zone, that you're focusing on technique, and when you're full of adrenaline, being able to get into that mindset and go back into your routine that you practice with on every throw. And that even comes to how many steps you take across the circle to get to the back, how you set up your feet, how you start to wind up. And for all of those things, creating a routine will help you so that when you get to a meet and you're full of adrenaline, by relaxing and sticking to your routine, you can get yourself into your technical zone and you're not worried about anything else going on. Another thing you should pay attention to in practice is at what point you start to get your best throws. So for myself, some of my best technical throws are after a nice, easy warm-up, focusing on feeling. And then my first 2 or 3 fulls will be some of my best technical throws. I don't need to warm up and take a whole bunch of full throws. I just need to go easy, get the rhythm and the feeling, take 1 or 2 super easy fulls just to feel positions and practice getting in the zone and feeling the ring. And then I start my competition throws. And for you, it could be the 10th throw or the 15th throw. So you want to start warming up and try to crank out as many warm-up throws as you can so you can get to that 15 throw mark so that those throws are your competition throws. Another thing to keep in mind is that a lot of people will want to do something extra special on meet day to get them ready for the competition, so they load up on way more food than they normally would or get way more sleep than you normally would. And I've tried doing all these things, but for me, the thing that works the best is just sticking to my regular routine. So whatever you typically eat, eat that. However long you typically sleep, sleep for that long. And you really want to just try to keep everything as normal as possible. And that's going to help your body relax so that you can postpone that adrenaline rush until closer to the meet time, because if it starts to peak too early, then it can really wear you out. So sticking to your regular routine and talking to friends or playing video games or whatever it is that you can calm down with to keep the adrenaline off until closer to the competition, then you won't wear yourself out too early and be too tired from being worked up all day. Another important thing to keep in mind is that 2 nights before the competition, if you can get a good night's sleep when you're not worked up with adrenaline yet, then no matter what happens the night before the competition, if you got a good night's sleep the night before, your body can still manage to pull out some good performances. So if you're someone that gets really stressed out the night before a competition, make sure that 2 nights before the competition, you're getting a good night's sleep, eating well, and that's going to start to set you up so that no matter what happens the day before, you're going to have enough energy and your body's going to be firing well enough still that you can still get a good performance. The final thing that I want to leave you guys with is that sometimes shit just happens. There may be times that practice just isn't going well before the competition. And something to keep in mind about this is that sometimes that can give you a bit more fear that you're not going to do well, spike even more adrenaline. So even more so, if you just focus on technique and competition, you can still pull out a good throw. Or there may be times that you're injured or you've just been too busy and haven't got enough practice reps in, so you're not confident in your technique. And again, that might spike more adrenaline. So focus on technique. And there may also be times that you just don't compete well, or the adrenaline got to you. And the big thing to keep in mind is that it's an individual sport. Nobody else cares what you threw. And the biggest thing that you can do is come back from that, focus on positions in practice, work even harder, practice more consistently, and make it a goal to beat yourself. Every competition, just try to do better than the last and take something away. And I'm trying to share with you guys tips that have helped me so I can accelerate the process for you. But so much of it is trial and error, experiencing that adrenaline rush, and going back to feel that adrenaline rush again, because eventually you'll learn to cope with it, and it's such a powerful tool that you can take advantage of. Anyways, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you took something away from this. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, subscribe for more. I will see you guys in the next one.